to go to the bathroom every 5 minutes. Buenos dias, welcome back. Well, actually, buenas noches. Welcome back to the vlog. My name is Sloan the Beast. I'm a chaos coach for highly driven, highly ambitious, successful women that are on the road to finding work-life balance without putting themselves on the back burner. So welcome to another week of my life. Don't be rude, say it back. We are on our way for coffee and thrifting this morning, and we got a couple things to catch up on, so let's go. We have made it to our destination. Ever since I returned from Dominican Republic, we have just been under massive attack, honestly, with sickness, and the list can go on, but I'm not even going to dwell on that. But it hit me this morning that when you're doing highly impactful things, of course the enemy is going to come up against you. I've been battling with a UTI for about 2 days now, and I very much could have been like, no, I'm not going to go anywhere. I want to stay in bed. I want to stay in pajamas. I have to go to the bathroom every 5 minutes. But I decided this morning that I was going to still come, meet up with my friends. This is a group of women that we're constantly just feeding each other the word. We're constantly feeding each other encouragement. I knew that the enemy was going to try and steal that moment away from me, but I believe that it's important for you to surround yourself with faith-filled people, and that's exactly what I'm going to do today. We're going to do a little bit of shopping. We're going to, of course, talk God. I'm excited to hear what God has been doing in their life and share what God has been doing in mine as we prepare for some really exciting projects that we have in the works. Yeah, I think that's kind of it. I think that's kind of all I want to say for now. I also want to talk to you about a little bit later about what to do when you're feeling buried instead of planted, what to do when you're feeling unseen, and how it is that I've been able to overcome that in my own life, and how it is that now I'm just in a really great space where God is rewarding me publicly for all of the work that I've been putting forth privately. So we're going to talk a little bit about being planted versus buried. We're going to do some coffee, some thrifting, and let's keep going with this week in my life. I'm about to take them off. I am back home and I'm ready to show you what it is I picked up. So it wasn't a thrift store. I'm sorry. I thought it was a thrift store. It's not. This is by the Daily Grace. They're the same company that I use for my Bible study. The Widow's Mite. It's called the Widow's Mite necklace, which is so beautiful. So I'm actually really happy with my purchases today. I thought I was going to a thrift store, but it ended up being something so much better. So more importantly, it was a great opportunity for us to catch up. A great opportunity for us to just pour life into each other. So I'm really happy that I went despite not feeling the best. Do you need my help?
Yes.
Okay. Cuidado. Grizzly, hold on.
He's hungry. You know what right now?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we have to feed the puppy.
To get the bowls?
Yeah. Wait, now eat. Now you can eat. Good job. I honestly don't know. This is yours.
Have the waffle cone?
No, you need to chill. Welcome to my temporary setup. I have my tea. We are going to be doing some self-care, so some skincare, getting our hair together for tomorrow. I have an appointment tomorrow as well, and then we're going out of town for the weekend. Tonight I want to talk to you about letting people count you out. So this is a recent realization that I had, and it was that no matter what you do, there's going to be people in your life that doesn't matter how far you've come, they will always still see you for who you have been and not who you are as who you are right now, and not as who it is that you are evolving into. And that is not your business. That is not your responsibility to change the minds of those people. They feel like you are just way beyond help, okay? And that can be disheartening for some of us, right? That for some of us can be like, wow, why can't this person see me for who I've become, right? And it's because they've seen you at rock bottom. It's because they've seen you at your worst. And that can be really difficult for some people to come to terms with when you're ready to move forward. Let's do some eye masks here.
I need one of those pictures.
So what I learned is the work that you do in silence, you will be rewarded in public for. Recently, I was on a project, and if you follow me on Instagram, you know what I'm talking about, but I was on a project with people who really, still kind of struggled sometimes seeing me as who I am right now, even now with 4 kids, even, successful businesses. What ended up happening is I was given center stage because they gave me my place, right? And not even gave it to me, but I kind of just, over time, have just decided that I wasn't going to wait until people said that I'm worthy of certain things. I just kind of took it. It was an eye-opening experience of like, okay, what have I done differently in the past X amount of time that has led to this moment where these people that were literally the first people to throw stones at me, right, in my humanity and in the errors that I made, are not the very people that are like singing my praises and, you know, putting me front and center and saying, actually, she's in charge. Like, what changed? So the first thing that you need to do is stop trying to control things that you can't control. I know this sounds like an obvious one, but a lot of times we are trying to like change the minds of these people who see us as inferior or see us as whatever they see us as if that's supposed to be our business, as if that's supposed to be our problem. And it's not. People's perception of you is not something that you can control. You know people through situations. You know people through actions and circumstances and opportunities that you're given to demonstrate your character. If they only see you for who you've been, it just means that they haven't had the chance to experience you and your new character in different ways. So the first thing that you have to start doing if you want to stop feeling this way, because ultimately it's just a limiting belief that you have, that you're unseen. It's a feeling that you have, and it's totally valid. I'm not knocking it, because again, I've been there, but we do have to talk about how do you just move forward from that, because that ain't got nothing to do with you anyway, right? That's the first thing that you need to do, is start learning to control the things that you can control, and that is yourself. The only thing that you can control is yourself. What you want to work on is taking back your power, owning your power. You want to learn to start controlling things like your own self-talk. Again, these limiting, self-sabotaging thoughts that you have. I want you to think about, what kind of a person do you want to be known for? What kind of characteristics do you want people to identify you with? That I really spent a lot of time, especially because I have a history of drug abuse and recklessness, honestly. And that's just me being honest here, because this is life in our 30s. I think a lot of us did things that not necessarily we regret, but we wish we would have done them differently. When you are in that place, think about what are things that you actually want to be known for. Like if you don't want to be known as the party girl anymore, or you don't want to be known as the friend that always flakes, okay, so what do you want to be known for? How do you want people to perceive you? Think about that, really think about that, and write that down. The second thing I started doing that I really think led to, again, these people seeing me different and being rewarded in public for the work that I've been doing in silence, is I started getting closer to God. I started asking Him to change me first. I think a lot of times people ask God like, oh, well, change that person, change their perception of me, change the way that they, talk about me, or change their judgmentalness. And it's like, actually, the first thing that needs to change is you. When we change our heart posture, it makes it so much easier for your life to become a testimony for those people to be changed. Sometimes when we're overlooked, it's really easy for us to like blame the other person. But I've found in so many different situations, whether it's, situations in my marriage or situations in my business or situations in my parenting even, that oftentimes it's me that needs to be changed. It's my perspective that needs to change. It's my approach that needs to change. And if I want God to use me, then I need to be coachable in a sense. I need to be moldable. So I started asking hard questions like, God, what are the things inside me that are preventing you from being able to use me? What are the things inside me that is going to trip up other people? Renew my mind, really get to the core of who I'm supposed to be, so that anything that's not of you can just be removed and I can be used, right? Because ultimately that's the whole point of being changed. People are always going to ask, especially when you have massive changes, kind of like I do, where people, will literally still to this day come up to me and be like, Sloan, what happened? Like, who are you? How did this happen? We've had people come up to us, even in business, say like, you guys left and came back and you are not the same couple. You are not the same business owners. You are not, like, the way that you move is so different. And it gives me an opportunity to be like, actually, I just kind of let God take the wheel and do what he had to do. And it's such an opportunity for us to testify, right? So you start asking God, like, God, examine my heart, examine my position, heart posture, examine my intentions, and anything that isn't of you, just remove it. Like, help me see that, bring awareness to that, so that I can be changed and I can be renewed and I can walk in the integrity of who I'm supposed to be. So the closer that I became with God and the more that I started just asking him, like, actually just change me. Like, not my husband, not my parents, not the Pharisees that judge me, like, just change me. That really has made such a difference, like I said, in so many things. And so I really believe that this is getting on my nerves. I really believe that made probably one of the biggest differences. Ooh, okay, so this next one is actually kind of juicy, especially even if you're not into like affirmations and stuff. I still think that affirmations are super powerful. Look, all I'm gonna say is that there's power in the tongue, okay? And when you are repeating life into yourself, if you aren't, like, don't expect other people to. One thing that I did is I started replacing people's accusations with the truth of who I was. So remember in my last tip, I said you want to ask God to just, change you. And with that comes understanding your identity. I started replacing the truths of who I knew I was and who I wanted to evolve into, right? Based off of the characteristics I wanted to be known for, over the accusations that were being thrown my way. Oh, you're a drug addict. Actually, I don't know where you got that, but those chains don't belong to me no more. Like, I'm saved from that. I'm healed from that. I'm liberated from that. And you start to replace those accusations with truth. I started really focusing and visualizing the woman that I wanted to become, the woman that I knew I was evolving into, the lifestyle that I knew my husband and I were building for ourselves, instead of focusing on all the nonsense. I started becoming tunnel vision focused, and the louder my goals became, the quieter their noise got. And what that did is it got me into the routine of every single day, looking at my vision board, getting in my Bible, journaling, and just reviewing all the time. Okay, what are my goals? What am I working toward today? What am I doing to move towards those goals? And every single day I was inching closer and closer. Now, I do use affirmation cards. The affirmation cards, you've probably seen them on my channel before. If you're new here, I will link them in the description box down below. They are by the Daily Bible Co. And I really like them because they are daily truths. So again, they just further deepen my relationship with the Lord, really make sure that I am not depending on my own strength, not depending on my own understanding, not depending on what I think is best for my life. You do not have to be perfect to serve others. This last one took me for a ride. I still feel like a teen mom, and I'm in my 30s. I still feel like I'm a teen mom, like I'm just starting, I have no idea what I'm doing, and I've been a parent for a little bit, at this point. You never really get used to it. There's been this stigma, especially, in the church, that you have to be so far along and you have to be like theologically ready to lead and to all these things. And it's like, actually, people just need to hear your stories. Actually, people just need to hear how you had this incredible transformation in your life, because who you are today is nothing compared to who you used to be, because who you used to be, that was ghetto. Let's remove these because these are getting on my nerves. Let that sit for a second. I hope you're enjoying this so far, because I'm definitely enjoying this conversation. Where was I? People need to hear your stories, and I know that sometimes your stories can be topics of shame to some of your family. They can be topics that are sore spots. Again, when you're doing things different, for lack of a better way of saying it, people tend to get hurt. It's not intentional, but it happens. Sometimes it's like, I don't want to tell that story because I hurt a lot of people in the process. Yes, but the person on the other side needs to hear that there's a better way, that there is hope for them as well, that there is restoration waiting for them as well. They need to hear that they're not the only ones that went through that somebody that looks like them, that talks like them, who has a family structure like them, who has a similar upbringing to them, they went through something similar, and look at them now. There's a better way. There's a light at the end of that tunnel. And the only way that they're going to know that that is possible for them is if you share your story. If you show up and you serve your community, the community that you have been assigned to, because I do believe that we've all been assigned to, serve a certain set of people. I promise you that when I started showing up from that place of like, I'm actually really imperfect. I probably shouldn't be teaching y'all anything. Here I am, because I don't know no better, and I just feel like there's somebody that needs to hear what I have to say. And so here's my story in all its vulnerability. Once I did that, it was like a game changer for my business, for my life. It really opened up a lot of beautiful relationships. It opened up a lot of wonderful doors for me where I could share my story. Eventually, the more that I kept working on these things, the more that I just kept, again, working in silence, and despite what other people said about me, the more other people started realizing, like, she's moving different. Like, something's up. Why is she doing this? And it's also a matter of like working in the waiting. I think that when we are planted and not buried, we need to be working. We need to find ways to show up. We need to find ways to serve others. We need to find ways to make ourselves useful. And one of the easiest ways you could do that is just serving people through your story, serving people through what it is that you've been through. So I think that over time, as I continue to do that, eventually the people that used to throw stones at you are now the people that are like, hey, would you mind sharing your story? Hey, would you mind helping us with this? Hey, I noticed that you've been building over the course of the last year, 2 years, 3 years. I see you, and you will be rewarded in public for what you've been doing in secret. And I'm telling you this because that's my story. That's what I have been through in the last couple of weeks, in very real time, by the way. I'm gonna finish up here. We're gonna finish our self-care evening, and we're probably gonna vibe in a little bit just put some music on. Also, don't worry about the smoke. I know the smoke can be scary, but it's really just the heat protectant, which if you are not using heat protectant for your hair, you should be. And this isn't even like an expensive straightener. This is like the Conair. I think it was $20-$30 at Target, so it's very inexpensive. But girl, it's what I've been using for years. This is actually like the third one I buy because it's cheap and it's good. Like, look at my hair. Plot twist, it is freezing cold in Florida again. Global warming is great. So we are actually going out of town tonight again, so I'm going to end the vlog here, maybe take you along with us for the weekend. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me for this week's vlog. Thank you to everyone that is new here. I hope you enjoyed this video. Next week's vlog will be another Spanglish video, so if you've been enjoying those, definitely let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Sweet nightmares, Peace fam.